Do you know each alphabet in English language is associated to a numerical value, and with it carries its own vibrations. So don't you think it's so fascinating that by just knowing the first alphabet of the person, you can know so much about him or her, the personality traits, their strengths, their weaknesses. So if you are going on a first date, or you are meeting your boss for the first time, or you are going for a job interview, by just knowing the name of the person and the first alphabet, you can know so much about the person even before you meet him or her. If you want to know how and what are the vibrations of each alphabet, then do watch this video. Hello everyone, I'm Sweta Sureka and I'm a certified numerologist, and in this video I'm going to talk about the vibrations of each alphabets. If the first alphabet of your name is A, or the first vowel of your name is A, then you are bold, confident, unique, action driven. However, on the flip side, you tend to get critical of others. You need to learn how to interact with others, listen to others, because being A or number one, you don't know that others exist. If your name begins with alphabet B, then you tend to be homely, emotional, domestic. You like being with people around you. You know how to create that balance. However, sometimes you can be self-absorbed, if not greedy. And if you are not able to create that balance, you can be completely thrown off track. So you need to take special care of your emotions. If your name begins with alphabet C, then you are all about communication. Be it constructive, educative, instructive, dramatic, but it is about communication. However, you can indulge in too much of gossip as well. So be careful about that. But you have a keen eye for art and artistic things. You are very talented and you get along with people easily. So that's your strength, and do utilize it fruitfully. Does your name begin with alphabet D? Then there it is about, knowledge versus ignorance. Either you would be open to new ideas, accepting things from others, or you would be too shut and confined. You can be rigid and stubborn at times. But generally you are a fair, easygoing person. Just don't make them mad. Otherwise they can slam and shut the door on your face and will not open it for a while at least. A good number for business, power, a very powerful number. However, those people whose name begin with D, they tend to get tired easily. So take care of that. If your name begins with alphabet E, you are all about energy. You are a fun-loving, joyful person, loves interacting with people. However, you also tend to be a bit inconsistent and shaky. And that shakiness can come in all aspects of your life, be it relationships, work, or any other area. You tend to flip from one thing to another, from one person to another. Be flirtatious nature. So be careful about that. Otherwise, a number full of energy, talent, and exuberance. Does your name begin with alphabet F? Then you are definitely a nurturer. A warm-hearted, loving, compassionate person who loves taking care of people around them. However, do you absorb yourself in self-pity often? Don't do that. Take care. Does your name begin with alphabet G? Have you noticed that G is an inward turning alphabet? So much like that, people whose name begin with G are secretive. There's something hidden or secret about them. They do not open up easily. They are kind of withholding themselves. However, once that trust is gained, you open up beautifully like a flower. You are a beautiful and gentle soul otherwise. If your name begins with H and you have balanced energies of alphabet H, then you are going to be a happy, holistic, healer, and a very helpful soul. H is about balancing your spiritual and materialistic side. People whose name begin with H have great business acumen. However, at times you can be self-absorbed and greedy. If your name begins with alphabet I or the first vowel of your name is I, then you are going to be a person with a lot of intuition, intelligence, insights. But on the flip side, you can have ill temper. So you need to take special care of that, because that ill temper of yours can often land you into trouble. If your name begins with alphabet J, you will often hang on to the past, which is indicated by the hook in the alphabet J. You might be engulfed into a bit of jealousy also. You are little vulnerable. However, you have this underlying desire to not give up, and that is why you would eventually get success. You are about justice. J's, take care of your emotions, don't hang on to the past, and you will bloom beautifully. If your name begins with alphabet K, you will be very open to new things in your life. You would be very receptive. Changes would come to you very easily. You would want to learn and understand new things, and not just learn but also live that newness. You are a very open person. You might get into very unusual job, relationships, or artistic pursuits. So but at times you can just go to extreme. You can tend to be very, very wild. If your name begins with alphabet L, you love moving forward. You just keep going forward, keep giving yourself without expecting anything in return. And often it can lead to you being taken of advantage by others. And still, you would just keep yourself giving yourself, and at a certain point you will completely burn yourself. That is why people whose name begin with L might often find themselves into some unhealthy love relationships where they are giving too much of themselves. L is all about love, lust, life, and liberation. If your name begins with alphabet M, you are like a mountain, very solid, grounded, and stable. And also there is an unseen volcanic within you. So you are, very efficient, reliable, and in control until you erupt. So if someone's name begin with alphabet M, make sure to not hit the wrong spots of the person, because till the point they are in control, it's good for you, and if they erupt, it's very difficult to control them. Self-confident people and also workaholics. If your name begins with alphabet N, then you are one of the most balanced persons. They can remain calm and composed even during the most chaotic of the situations. So they know how to create balance. They are an easygoing, flowy number. They are about nurturing. The only drawback is they can tend to get jealous at times. Otherwise, a very balanced number, flowy number, easygoing number, and they are very well equipped to handle even of the most difficult situations. Are you a drama queen? Do you view things with suspicion or reservation? Then does your name begin with alphabet O, or the first vowel of your name is O? Then you will kind of hold yourself back. You will view things with suspicions. You will not easily trust people, and that comes from the energies of O. You will also be very overprotective when it comes to your loved ones, when it comes to your near and dear ones, which can get little exhausting for the others. So be careful of that. Do you know how are people whose name begin with alphabet P? They are always thinking and rarely speaking. They will appear quieter than normal. And even when they speak, somewhere they will hold back the information. They will not speak freely. They are very inclined towards spiritual matters. They are focused and goal-oriented. P are also psychotics, psychopaths. So don't go into the extremes, because we do need people to communicate. Socialization is an important aspect of human being. If your name begins with alphabet Q, then you are someone who is very rare and very intelligent. You are quick and quirky. You can at times come in the lines of being eccentric, because you like doing things which are unimaginable, which is unknown to the people. So, people can't generally relate to it. You can tend to get self-absorbed. So take care not to do that. And yes, as I said, a very intelligent people. Do you know how are people whose name begin with alphabet R? They are very tolerant, very human, very understanding. It is about resurrection, rebirth. They often face difficulties in their close relationships, and it's much later in their lives that they find their soulmates after going through those initial struggles and initial obstacles. But a very beautiful number, because they can understand people really well. Very human number. If your name begins with alphabet S, it is about scintillating energy. S is, open to the past as well as to the future. They learn their lessons well in life. It is about new beginnings. S is sensual, sly, sexy, seductive, sleeky. And on the negative side, S can be impulsive at times. People whose name begin with alphabet T can often get restless. They seek answers, especially to their spiritual questions. They can be overly emotional, and they can often, get driven away. So the focus and the goal orientation is not there. However, T energies depend a lot on where they are placed in the name. So they can make good things better or bad things worse. That's how T's energy work. It amplifies things. It can be for the good or for the bad. Have you noticed alphabet U has this round base which gives it an unsteady foundation, especially when it comes to emotions. So anything which basically, kind of ruffles their feeling feathers, causes that stoppage in them, that blockage related to their emotions and their feelings, and all sorts of negative emotions kind of starts brewing inside them. However, U is that one alphabet which is also, about getting those lucky breaks. They are capable of changing the course or the direction of their life. U is about universe. So a very lucky alphabet, I would say. Have you noticed how is alphabet V? It has two straight lines going upwards. However, they join at a base, which indicates basically an ideal victorious position. But the two lines indicate two different personalities. On one side, they have that humanitarian instinct. They have great regards for others around them, and that is why they make great doctors or health workers. On the other side, they often struggle to balance their spiritual and materialistic world. But all in all, a very good alphabet, and they find their way out and emerge as victorious in different situations. When we talk about alphabet W, we see that it is very similar to alphabet M. They both talk about, ups and downs in our lives. But M was about being, closed and protective, whereas W is about being open and receptive. W is about warmth and being wonderful, but W is also wacky and weird. W is a risk taker. They love taking risks, and at times they can be greedy. Alphabet X has multi-dimensional energies to it. X is open to new experiences in their lives. When I say new, it is more often unusual experiences in all areas of their life, something which the society might not approve of. They kind of indulge in those kind of experiences. They tend to be little unfaithful in their relationships, and that's an unpleasant characteristic trait about them. So yes, a very rare alphabet to begin a name with, but they are very sexy as well. Alphabet Y is like, there is a straight road and then there are two forks. So it is about changing your directions in life. It can be either out of choice or out of compulsion and force. However, Ys do not like to be restrained. They like their freedom, but they also have that laziness and indecisiveness in them. So they need to create that balance, otherwise they can just go off track and haywire. Talking about the last alphabet, it is Z. If we extend the legs of the alphabet Z, it looks very similar to a lightning bolt, and that's the kind of energies this alphabet carries. It is about zeal and zest, but often it needs to zone out from time to time. It can hurt and heal people at the same time. It is about peace and hope, but also it often disregards the emotions and opinions of others.